In today's video, I'm sharing with you how I learned to love my body with a consistent exercise routine and going from this to this in just a few short months. So let's get right into today's video. Before I share with you how I actually did this, I think it's really important to share an inspiring story with you and really just how this all got started. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and some popcorn and sit down because I'm about to get real with you. So we're gonna jump back all the way to 2017 because this is actually when this started. I remember at this time I had just finished a very rigorous internship and I was super busy working 14 hours a day, and self-care and taking care of my body and eating right was seriously some of the least of my concerns. And at that time, even though I wasn't really trying to look fit or trying to love my body or implement any sort of self-care into my life, I remember thinking that I looked like all the Pinterest models out there. I remember thinking that I was super toned and super fit and really shredded. And go me for thinking that I looked like that. But I remember in October of 2017, I put my jeans on and I noticed that I just kept hiking them up over my hips. And I went and I stood in the mirror and I took this photo right here. And I just remember thinking, is that me? I thought that I looked like all those Pinterest models and those fit models out there that were really muscular and really fit. It was in that moment that I decided that it was time for me to make a change, because at the time I was in a really bad place mentally. I just wasn't really taking care of myself and I didn't love myself the way that I was supposed to. And for me, I thought that exercising and looking fit was the answer. So I dived into the realm of YouTube. I started doing a bunch of research on how to get fit, how to lose weight, how to get toned. I basically went down a rabbit hole. And finally in December of 2017, I came to a conclusion that if I was going to change my life, I needed to take action. So what I did was I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to work out every single day for one entire year straight in the year of 2018. Now, I understand that that is absolutely crazy and you do not need to set that type of rigorous, insane, very consistent goal in order to learn how to love your body and to love a consistent exercise routine. But I'm a go hard or go home kind of gal, and that's just kind of what I decided to do because I knew if I didn't commit that I wouldn't stick with it. So basically, this resolution that I made for myself completely changed my life. I went from looking like this to this in just a few short months. I tell you this story because I want you to know that when I first went on the journey to learning how to love my body, it was completely and totally about my appearance. I wanted to look hot, I wanted to look fit, I wanted people to turn heads and be like, wow, that girl has abs, that girl is fit, that girl is strong, I want to look like her. And I tell you this because I want you to know that if you're trying to learn how to love your body, that is okay if that is where you start at. I remember when I first started doing this fitness resolution, I struggled. I hated it. I showed up every single day and I did not enjoy it for the first 3 to 4 months. And by the 4-month mark, right around in March of 2018, I started to fall in love with fitness because I was seeing changes in my body. And then in return, I started to fall in love with myself. I think that that's really powerful because when I first started this fitness journey, I was absolutely obsessed with looking skinny, with looking good. I know that that's really vain, but that's the truth. And as I've continued through on with this journey and this resolution, I've just never stopped. It's been 4 years and I've continued to work out consistently at least 4 to 5 days per week for 4 years straight now. And I'll tell you something, it's not about how I look. And even though that's how it started, it's how I feel on the inside. It's how I feel mentally. And I show up for fitness every single day because it taught me how to love my body. And that's what I'm here to teach you today. I completely fell in love with the feeling that fitness gave me, with the confidence that it gave me, with the escape that it gave me. And it is all because of fitness that I am exactly where I am today. And stick to the end of this video because I have an inspiring story to end with you on how this resolution and how I learned to love my body and to love myself got me to my dream startup and what I'm doing today. I think learning how to love your own body is learning how to just feel good in your own skin. I know how much it sucks to just hate the body that you're in, to wish that you look like somebody else, and fitness got me out of that rut, and this exercise and this consistent routine of just showing up and enjoying moving my body taught me how to get out of that rut, and it taught me how to love myself. Through exercise, I learned that I can do hard things. I learned that even when I don't want to, I can show up. I learned that even though I absolutely despise burpees, they're not gonna kill me. And most importantly, I learned that the after high exercise feeling feels a lot better than the self-doubt that I felt, the lack of confidence that I felt. I share with you this story because even though it started out as my appearance, what it really ended up being was learning that I love myself because I showed up and I could do something hard, and if I can do that, you can too. So I guess the better question would be, how did I learn to love my body through a consistent exercise routine, and how can you do it too? I think learning how to love your body through exercise starts with first showing up and finding an exercise routine that actually actually works for you. I know sometimes it can be very daunting and very scary to show up to the gym when all these people look like they know exactly what they're doing, or to maybe invest that time into something that you're worried you won't get anything from. And I'm here to tell you that you just need to do your research and figure out how you like to move your body and do that. I always thought that I had to lift heavy weights or do all these crazy exercises like all these other fit people were doing so I could look just like them. But I've realized in my 4 years of my fitness journey and my journey to loving myself that it had nothing to do with that, and it had everything to do with just moving my body in a way that feels good. I just love and I look forward to putting in my headphones, drowning out the world, and doing something good for myself. I think learning how to love your body starts first with loving where you're at right now and what you look like right now, and appreciating the journey and the process of getting to where you want to be. Because even though you may not feel like it right now, you are beautiful exactly the way that you are. It starts with showing up even when you don't want to, because it proves to yourself mentally and subconsciously that you can do hard things. It starts with challenging yourself and pushing yourself to do that extra push-up, to do an extra 5 minutes of running, because it proves to yourself that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And when you achieve these kinds of things, it inspires you to love yourself more, because you realize that you are strong, you are capable, and you are beautiful. You do not have to be athletic or fit to love your body either, and that's not the message that I'm trying to put out there. Exercise is my tool that I use to learn how to love myself, because it proved to me that I could change my body, that I could do hard things, and that I could show up and be consistent about something that I care about. So whatever it is that you want to do in order to learn how to love yourself, you need to figure out what works for you and do that. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to show up. You're the one that has to put in the work, and you're the one that is going to see the results. So you have to love the process, and you have to love and enjoy what you're doing if you're going to learn how to enjoy a consistent exercise routine and to love your body along the way. It's been 4 years since I made that New Year's resolution, and I've never stopped, because it feels good to feel accomplished. It feels good to love the body that I'm in, and most importantly, it feels amazing to be confident and happy in my own skin. And that's how I want you to feel in fitness and in life and in your professional life too. Come up with a realistic goal and a plan and a way that you're going to execute it. And I'll be completely honest with you, there was a time when I felt lost, there was times when I plateaued, and there was times when I wondered if it was worth it. But I kept going because I knew deep down that my consistent exercise routine made me happy. It made me feel accomplished, and I just loved the way I felt after a sweaty workout, because it made me feel like I seriously could just do anything that I set my mind to. I realized that I was passionate, not really about the way that my body looked on the outside, but the way that it made me feel to just show up and be accomplished and get things done even when I didn't want to, because it meant that I could do hard things. And you are strong, you are beautiful, and you are absolutely capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. I want to end this video with the inspiring story that I mentioned about my dream startup, because I hope that it inspires you to really just learn how to love yourself and see the results that loving yourself, loving your body, and showing up consistently in exercise can do for you. So the story is that I started a dream startup because of this fitness resolution that I made. I am currently the owner and founder of a rising sports bra company, and I'm very passionate about it. And I tell you this because this whole thing started because of this resolution that I made. I remember I was exercising and I realized that I couldn't find sports bras that were working for me. And I started to draw designs. I started to reach out to manufacturers. I started to apply to different investors that could potentially help me with this idea. And I think it's because I showed up in fitness and I realized that if I could do burpees for 30 seconds and that was really hard, then maybe I could show up in the professional world and I could pitch to investors and I could do hard things in my professional life because I did hard things in the gym. And I know that maybe it sounds really crazy, but honestly, that is the mindset that I have towards fitness and towards my life. So I took this resolution that I made, I took this journey to loving my body, and I created my dream startup with it. And it is because I showed up consistently in fitness every single day that I knew I was capable of showing up consistently in my startup business. I knew that I was capable of showing up consistently in whatever it is that I wanted to create for myself and in my life. Because if I can do burpees for 30 seconds, if I can show up to the gym every single day, I knew that I could do anything that I set my mind to. And I think that's the power of fitness, and that's the power of learning how to love your body. Because the more you push yourself and the more that you challenge yourself, you realize that there just are no limits. As you continue to set limits, your limits continue to expand because you continue to grow into that next version of yourself. And that's what I'm inspiring you to do. This whole channel is about being your best self. And I tell you this story because I want you to be inspired to be your best self. I don't want you to settle. I want you to work for and create a life that makes you feel passionate, makes you feel excited about getting up and conquering the day. And that's what we're here to do. Fitness for me started out with what I wanted to look like, but it has turned into into this really mental health journey of learning how to love my body, learning how to be confident. And you know, I'm not perfect, but that's the reality of being a human. And I want you to know that I'm not perfect, and you don't have to be perfect either. And just because maybe one day that you don't show up in your fitness journey, that doesn't mean that you can't show up the next day and work extra hard because you took that extra rest day even when you didn't mean to. You have to continue to set goals for yourself and continue to push yourself into that next version of who it is that you want to be, because you are absolutely capable of it. If you enjoyed today's video, I also have all sorts of videos on my channel about healthy lifestyle habits that I've implemented into my life to be more productive and happier. I also have playlists of my real-time workouts. This is right when I first started my channel, so it's not the highest quality, but the workouts are killer. I'll link them up here. I also just have all sorts of videos and routines that you guys can go check out on my channel. I upload all sorts of content on personal growth, self-love, healthy and balanced living, and business. So don't forget to subscribe and take that notification bell so you don't miss a video, because I upload every Sunday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. I hope to see you in another video. If not, peace out. Bye.